What up, my people? ¿Qué pasa, mi gente? Welcome, bienvenido to another episode, otro episodio de Hoy en Día TV. I am your host, Yessie Rodriguez. I'm about to bring out my awesome co-hosts. We have Cece, the actionist, and Nadine, the author. Yes. Welcome, lovelies. How are you? Hola.
I can't hear.
Uh-oh. ¿Qué pasó, Nadine? What happened?
Okay. Tech. You might have to try to log out, log back in.
Yeah, I'm gonna remove you from the stage, and you just wave me down when you're ready to come back in, okay? Cece, how's it going? ¿Cómo estás? How are you?
I'm doing good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, like Mr. Rogers used to say, right? It's raining and gloomy, but it's still a beautiful day, right? Because it's all about how you see it. So it's wonderful here in the wonderful, wonderful world in North Carolina, right? This beautiful state.
Absolutely. I echo your words. It's all about perspective. You know what? I'm doing really, really good. And I agree with you. It's all about perspective, right? Even with the rain, it helps wash away. Like even when we think of water and rain, like when we take the opportunities to just get into the water, whether it be taking a bath, shower, what have you, you're washing away and you're cleansing yourself. And so that's what the rain is doing, right? Is helping to cleanse the earth, cleanse the day, water the plants. Now we have beautiful flowers and different things growing. So I agree. It's all about perspective.
Absolutely, right? It's all good. My niece, I was chatting with her today and she goes, oh, it's now, it's so hot. It's so hot. And she goes, but I complain when it's hot. And then when it's cold, I'm like, oh, it's so cold. It's so cold. I was like, pick one, okay? I was like, you got to be grateful for each day, because this is the day the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. Psalms 118 and 24, right? And so every day is a brand new day. It's a new day. You see, like you said, it's cleansing the earth, cleansing our bodies, all that, watering the flowers, plants, all that, and bringing us food, right? That good old farm food, right? From farm to table, loving it. So it's always great. All right, you made it back.
Yeah, for some reason, like once you went out and came back from the commercial, and I came back, I couldn't hear anything. I'm like, is it me or is it you guys? But I'm good now.
We hear you loud and clear. You're loud and clear now.
Yeah, I unplugged the earpiece that I had connected to my mic, so that was the issue. I don't know what's going on with it.
Gotcha.
But I'm good to go. I'm ready to go.
Good.
Beautiful. So how have you been? How have you been since the last time we saw you a week ago, virtually?
I've been great. I've been just doing some background acting. Yesterday I was on Divorce Court. It was so exciting. We filmed 8 episodes. It was really great. And this morning I woke up to a big thunderstorm. So I'm good.
So what is that experience being on Divorce Court set? Is it really like strict, or is it like, how do they tell you like laugh now or clap now, or how does it all work behind the scenes?
Yeah, of course, they have like the PAs giving us like, signals of, of course, if there's something funny, everybody's gonna laugh, but like if there are people like down or are not fixing their faces, they're not realizing they're, not fixing their faces. They're like, fix your face or whatever. Or like a big whiteboard that, she'll tell you like, hey, red shirt, green shirt or whatever, pointing you out and let, like sit up straight or whatever the case is. But they're really strict. But it's a really nice, intimate, small set. It's perfect. Because, sometimes you go background and there's so many people, but it was really nice and organized.
Okay.
Yeah. And to film so many episodes in one day is amazing. Like 8 episodes. So they usually film 8 episodes in a day, and the last episode they go live on YouTube, which is pretty interesting.
So when you were on so you'll be in all 8 of those episodes as like a part of the audience there?
Yes, and throughout all different episodes, they'll kind of like switch you around, like switch your seats.
Okay. Gotcha. Because I was wondering, because I'm like, now that you're saying that, I'm like, I'm going to start paying attention to those shows to see if I see like repetitive people, you know what I'm saying? Like seeing the same face again. Because I didn't know that. I thought it was like a different audience every single time. See, these are little things that we need to know from actresses like you all, because you're behind the scenes, you're experiencing all of this stuff with the cards, and you think like, oh, this is such a great production. Of course it was, because you had cards and you're doing all this stuff and seeing people telling you this and that. Smile, don't smile, serious face, happy face, like all the things.
It's a lot of moving parts behind the scenes, really. I mean, and it's interesting to watch, like watching, how they do this, like watching a chef cook, you know what I mean? So that's exactly how it is. And it's like, oh my God, it's very intriguing. So yeah. And then like, the first 4 episodes, they'll do 2 episodes, you take a break, then they come back, do 2 more, and then we go to lunch, come back, and then come back. It's a different day because, the judge, she'll change clothes and they'll change like the flowers on the desk. And it's pretty interesting because, to be filming so many people, so many episodes, you have to move fast. You have to go at a fast pace. Yeah.
Now,
and they're real episodes and real people.
Do they require, like, the audience members? Do they require you guys like to have a change of clothes? Maybe
Oh no, not for that set, not for that setting. No.
Wow.
I mean, in some cases, they might tell you if you're wearing a jacket or like a shirt that they like, they might say take the jacket off or whatever the case is, or put it back on. Yeah. So yeah.
Nice to know.
Okay, cool. And along those lines of acting, recently myself and a few other great talents had the opportunity to work on a short film with Raw One. So shout out to Raw One, called Kill No One. And it's a horror comedy. And it's really funny. So for those looking for a good laugh or just want to feel the good vibes, I definitely recommend you check it out. Just go on my page under Facebook. It's also available on YouTube, and it's called Kill No One. This is part 1.
Wait, is it out yet? I can't wait to see it.
It's out. Yep. I'll share the link with you. Actually, let me share the link right now for the viewers and listeners so that they can.
I can't wait to see that because I was talking to Rose and I said I'm definitely going to check that out. Yes, I'm going to check it out.
Oh yeah, we had a blast filming it. It was a lot of fun, and it was very professional. It was quick to the point, and we went in and out. We got it done, and the product was awesome. So I'm actually going to share the link right now for that. Let's see.
I couldn't make this one, but maybe I'll be able to make the next.
The title is very
well.
Kill No One. The title's very interesting. You use the word kill, so automatically you're going to think like you're killing something, right, or someone. This is Kill No One.
So I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff for sure. Yes. So what do we have? Any trending topics that you all want to talk about? I have 2 that I want to talk about, but let's see what you all have first before I bring my case. Oh. Yeah.
I haven't
what's going on with that.
I haven't personally seen it, but as soon as something prevalent like this come out, so it's all over social media. But I was watching some of the overview on CNN today. Yes, that's what I was doing today. And some of the horrific things they were saying, it was just like mind-boggling. But it's from all the things that came out once he got arrested. It wasn't that mind-boggling to think that, oh my God, this person can't commit this crime, but it was really mind-boggling to hear the things that he did to that poor young lady. It was horrific. And
that's so sad. Oh my gosh. And you know what's interesting? Yeah, I agree with you, Cece. Like, I've heard of it, I've seen snippets of it, but I really haven't been following it. But I'm definitely going to catch up on it. But what's interesting is that we're spotlighting Diddy's case, but I've heard in many years past that this has been pretty frequent within the Hollywood and entertainment industry, where other people similar to Diddy are out there. They're just not caught yet or spotlighted yet, right? And so definitely this is a word for caution for those who are, like passionate, like, yes, I want to be in the entertainment industry. I'll do whatever it takes. Kind of watch your words, because people will do that. And then unfortunately, there's a lot of negative consequences and negative things that do happen. So yeah, Cece, I know you were going to say something with regards to that.
Yeah, same thing. I hadn't been following it. I just heard like a quick snippet because I didn't know like the girl, is it Cassie? Like she's pregnant now or something, and And so she's having to go through this ordeal. Can you imagine the stress on the baby? Because she's so stressed out with everything that's going on, and it's awful. It's really, really awful. And whether the claims are true or false, all the stuff that's alleged and the people that truly went through it, only, we weren't there, right? So I can't point a finger, I can't judge. But if these things are true, of course, these celebrities, anyone, no one should be above the law. The law was made for a reason, right? To hold people accountable, and money should not be a factor to be able to, pay your way or pay someone off, right? To be able to get you off, and, but he needs to be held accountable, and justice needs to prevail, and that's what's so kind of scary with American justice, is that money talks. Money talks. And so you can buy off judges and lawyers and juries and all of these types of things. But you know what? We have a God that sits high and looks low, and he's going to be the ultimate judge and jury that's going to provide, true justice. And so I do pray that true justice will be given unto all the perpetrators. But I also too pray, for their souls, and that they will, because people can change. You know what I'm saying? You make bad choices, you get caught up in this life, you think that this is what's expected, and you see other people, and it's not. And so sometimes you do it because of peer pressure. You know what I'm saying? P. Diddy is not, the richest man on the face of the planet. He's not a man with all the power in the whole world. You know what I'm saying? But he has a sliver of it, and perhaps he's trying to impress others that are above him, or whatever the case. I don't know what goes on in people's mind, but I know in the Hollywood entertainment industry, that's definitely an industry truly that Satan has his hands in a lot of ways. And then you have people out there doing really good things, great things, that's not taking it far, that are putting the line in the sand and say, hey, we're not going to do. We talked about that on one of the shows the other day. That there's just certain things that we're not going to do. I know Terrence Howard, I think he wanted to play the role of, was it Marvin Gaye or one of the actors? He was supposed to do a role of someone, I don't remember who, but they wanted him to kiss another man or something like that. And he was just like, I'm just not going to do that, and of course people would get mad or whatever, but there was a lot of support, and they were saying, hey, we're proud of you. And they were saying, what's the big deal? If he doesn't want to do that, he shouldn't have to do that. And you shouldn't blackball him or cancel him or whatever, because people make choices as to what they'll do and as to what they will not do. So everyone should be treated equal and fair across the board. And so, I take my hat off to Terrence. It's like, if that's not your thing, then you don't do it. And you don't cross those lines. Yeah. But yeah, this case is definitely, it's something that a lot of people are tuned into, and hopefully people will make better decisions. Sometimes, not saying like he's a scapegoat or anything like that, or maybe he is. I don't know. I'm just saying, right?
It's funny you said that, sis, because I was talking to another friend of mine today, and I said the same exact thing that you said, that not the same exact words, but in that same realm. Other people, they're probably going to look and they're probably going to change their course, because they're saying that they might get caught too. And like we were saying earlier, as far as him thinking he is above the law, it's just like in the military, right? Like a lot of people like to use their power of authority and try to intimidate people, just like that young lady who had her recordings. I remember when they were trying to intimidate me in the military and try to do all these things and try to, purposely do things to me so that I could be disrespectful, so they could get me in trouble. And all this stuff that I went through, my story, sis. And recordings don't lie, baby. When I took the recording out, they're like, okay. When that investigation start and you start listening to the recordings, that's not my voice on there, it's yours.
I'm sorry to hear that you did with this.
Not above the law.
That's horrible. I'm so sorry to hear that you had to deal with that.
Oh yes. Yeah. Oh yes. I've been through the fire, but you know what? I prevail because God, He got me. Got my back 100%.
Absolutely.
And you know beautiful. What? I just want to give a shout out to God. Okay, just the Most High. I don't want to tell you why. I was sharing with Effie behind the scenes that, my husband, he has a new job. It's amazing, but he's gone for like 3 weeks out of a month. And there's only 4 weeks in a month. So that's a long time, right? To be away from family. But God, just on this week, my stress levels have been through the roof. And I believe on Monday, I was just crying. I was just crying. It was so much. And And I was praying. I was crying and praying and crying and praying and praying. It's just, but God has been so sweet to me. Not to say that he's never sweet to me, because he's always sweet to me. But sometimes, you really would have some of those special, intimate moments with him. And I just feel like he's just adoring me with kisses, and he's just really hugging me and keeping me so close. And I've had a peace that really, truly surpasses all understanding. Do I still feel the stress? Absolutely, but it's not as intense. Like, he really stepped it down a notch, and blessing after blessing after blessing has been happening with other people even coming into the fold to help others and stuff like that. It's just been an amazing week, and we're we're Wednesday, right? So,
yes, you were crying that you didn't call me, and you were crying.
Yeah, but he's been super sweet to me. And so I just want to give him a shout out, right? All praise to the Most High. And hopefully, right, you all know what I'm talking about. Hopefully you will experience it if you haven't, like, just where you just feel like an extra sweetness from God. He's always sweet, but just that extra.
He's always sweet to me. Like, he's
been my cherry on top all week.
Me too. So I was like, sis, you were crying and you didn't call me? Like, really?
Because sometimes it has to be you and God. You know what I'm saying? It just has to be, sometimes it can't be another person. It's like he is my provider in all things. He is my peace in all things. He is my solace, all of these things. And so I said, let me just take it to the source. And he enjoys to hear about our problems. He wants to know. He wants to, And so I acknowledged him, and he made it better. So it was no need to call or do anything. And I know you would have been right there. Both of you guys have been right there. But he was just the source, and he fixed it. So he's in kisses to the Most High.
That's amazing. That's good to hear.
Absolutely. I love it. That is truly, truly beautiful. Praise God for sure. For sure. So the topics that I was going to bring up, I'll just leave those for next week, because they'll be sitting on people's minds, because we have such a light spirit. These two topics that I brought up is what I came across on some recent news articles, and I don't want to bring the spirit down, because we're in a happy spirit at this moment. So with that in mind, I feel that this will be a good opportunity, especially since we're speaking about the entertainment industry and how it all is, to bring on our special guest who's patiently waiting behind the scenes to get on and chat with us. So Nadine, please do us the honor of reading the bio for our amazing guest that we have coming up board, and then we will bring her on.
Oh my God. So this beautiful young lady, right? Joyce Licorish, I would like to welcome her to the stage. But first, let me read her bio. She's multifaceted and it's pretty long. So hold on to your seats. Okay, so Ms. Joyce Licorish, she is a multifaceted creative force. She's a filmmaker, an author, an amazing vocalist. I have the honor of watching her perform, and she's a plus-size model and advocate for diversity in the arts. As the CEO of Dream Empire Film, she has directed and produced several notable projects, including Garden of Dreams, which she's probably going to talk about that later on. She's also a writer, producer, director, now streaming on Amazon with the Garden of Dreams, so check it out. Also, Finding Tony 2024, and is currently in negotiations for the international feature film adaptation of The Lost Locket, based on her best-selling novel. Her filmography also includes acting roles in productions such as Empire and The Exit. She's an award-winning filmmaker, having taken home Best Episode Pilot at Kingdom Fest 2023 for her project, The Bridge. Continuing on, a celebrated vocalist and winner of Cobb Idol 2021, Joyce has opened the icons like Shaka Khan, Babyface, and the Isley Brothers. She leads the neo-soul band Soul Candy and performs regularly with the Trey Denard Band in Atlanta. Her voice-over work spans major platforms including Subway and Amazon Audible, and she also serves as the voice coach to many, many aspiring talents. On stage, Joyce is best known for her unforgettable portrayal of Effie in Dreamgirls, in a touring production by Fox TV executive producer Bob Harbin. She also produced and starred as Sophia in an 8-city national tour of The Color Purple, directed and staged the first ever musical adaptation of The 5 Heartbeats, and created her original hit musical Birth of Soul. Her extensive theater credits include productions with the Indianapolis Opera, Porgy and Bess, Ida, Don Pasquale, and co-directing Ain't Misbehavin' and other major stage works. As an author, Joyce has penned several Amazon bestsellers, including The Forgotten Timepiece and The Lost Locket. Let me repeat that again. The Forgotten Timepiece and The Lost Locket, both part of the Harlem trilogy. Her latest works, Falling in Dubai, a BBW romance, and the Manifestation book set, And So It Is, are quickly gaining national attention. She's also the founder of One of the Race, Human Race Foundation, a fiscal sponsorship platform supporting diverse voices in the arts. So this is Miss Joyce Licorish, an amazing, multifaceted, and I'm sure she left out a lot of different things. So welcome, Miss Joyce Licorish, to the stage. Oh my God, did I forget anything? Oh, you are
welcome.
You're on mute. You're on mute.
Let me unmute you real quick. Oh, I can't unmute you. You have to unmute yourself.
I'm like, did I forget anything? Because I could have kept going on and on and on.
No. Listen, if I knew you were going to read that, I would have absolutely made sure that it was abbreviated for you. I apologize.
I mean, this is good because it's helping us put things into perspective of who you are based on your bio, right? This is your bio, but
right.
Who would you say you are? Who do you say you are, Joyce?
I think the shortest answer is I'm a creative visionary. 2 words sum up everything I do. Everything I do aligns with my purpose, which is to move, touch, inspire, and uplift, whether it be through books or film or music. Everything is always going back to that as a home base.
Absolutely. Love it. Love it. Love it.
I love it. That's awesome. And I think, you're the first person on the show to have just a 2-word, like you made it was concise, you were there.
Because y'all
creative vision,
all the stuff, right?
It.
But if you had to, my mentor that I work with told me, because she's read my bio too, and she's like, that's so much. If you're ever appearing, you've got come up with 2 words that describe yourself. And what do you want people to take away from having met you? I want them to be moved, touched, and inspired. And I consider myself a creative visionary. Now, we can talk, multifaceted and all the different things I've done throughout the span of my career. But at the end of the day, my focus now is more so in the film industry and in the publishing side of things, because I feel like entertainment is very, very powerful.
Absolutely. Yes. So Joyce, walk us through, because I love to hear the beginnings, the humble beginnings of how this all started. At what age did you realize this was your purpose, and how did you start to pursue that?
Okay, so this is I'm going to make it short. The short answer is senior year in high school, I discovered I could sing. So that's where the music came in. I was in a talent show. I'm not going to tell my age, but the song we were singing will give it away. We were singing Hold On by In Vogue. It was hot. I was supposed to be background. And let's just say the other girls froze and I sang the whole song by myself and we won. Well, after that, I went on tour with some people and started singing. But I did an 18-year career in IT in between all this. And I used to sit at my desk at, I won't say the company, very high-end pharma company based in Indianapolis. And I would be so depressed. And so I started auditioning for different things and got into the Indianapolis Opera, and then started doing a lot of cabaret theater and whatnot. But after many years of theater, I was like, I really want to do something that resonates longer than just that night. You know what I mean? So you do a play, you spend all the money, the time, the resources, the rehearsals, and you might run it for 2 weekends. And then it's like, what is that little meme that you see? All that work and what did it get me? So it's like, I want to do something, right? I want to do something where people can still enjoy it. And my favorite movie is Titanic. And I thought about it. That movie came out in 2000 some odd, right? And it still makes $2 million a year. I'm like, I'm doing something wrong here. Let me switch gears and not do plays anymore. I'm going to go back to that at some point, but transition is something that's more evergreen.
I like that. More evergreen. I like that. I like that.
Evergreen.
Yes. Money
evergreen.
I love it. Yes. And so from there, what happened next? I heard in the bio you wrote a novel called The Lost Locket. So tell us
Yes,
about that novel. How was that inspired? Because that's an interesting title that has a lot of
absolutely.
depth
So
to it.
it's unique. It's a part of a three book series, which I'm working on book 4 and 5. Don't judge me. I'm a little ADHD. Is how I'm able to do all this. It's my superpower. The Lost Locket was born from a dream, as my company is Dream Empire. Everything I do usually starts with some sort of dream. And the Forgotten Timepiece was book 1, but the Lost Locket garnered international attention. It is about a woman who, modern day woman, we've all probably lived her life to an extent and having a crappy love life until you don't, right? She had a really crappy love life. She was enamored with all the things in the past. She's a caregiver for her grandmother, and her grandmother was a nurse during World War II, and she fell in love with all her stories. So she loves to shop and go to these little swap meets. And the long story short version of the book is that she has a really crappy breakup. Best friend takes her for some retail therapy, and she picks up this locket and a swap meet. Well, inside of it is a picture of the soldier from World War II. And of course, her imagination runs away with her, and she starts to wear the locket. And when she goes to bed at night, she starts to have these amazing, vivid dreams about being transported back in time to 1944 and serving as a nurse abroad with the U.S. military. And she falls in love and meets the guy in the locket. But then when she wakes up, she also meets the same guy in real life. So it's like a romantic comedy about how far we've come, how far we haven't come. It also has an interracial element. She's an African American woman, and he's not. He's Caucasian. And as you couldn't imagine, in the U.S. military back in the 1940s, we were fighting, a war against Hitler and fighting against racism, yet importing the Jim Crow South into France, which was a place where a black man was just a man and a black woman was just a woman. So it tells a lot of the stories behind the scenes of things that happened back then in real life, but I've changed the names and some of the locations and then added that little time travel element to make it mysterious.
That reminds
Yeah.
me of that new movie that just came out too.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not gonna go there because I wrote my book first. So.
I'm just saying.
My book has been out for 3 years. It has been out for 3 years. It garnered international attention, and so a French producer read it, translated it to French, sent it to the French government, and got a $2 million grant for me to start the negotiations on a $20 million budget for producing the film. Yes, 6888 is similar, but it's not, in that this story goes a lot deeper in the day-to-day of the nurses. The 6888 were the mail carriers, but there were nurses that weren't U.S. military nurses so much. They were more with the Red Cross, and we've never heard the story of the Black nurses that were allowed to serve because everybody thinks no Black nurses served during the U.S. With the U.S. military in that time, and that's not the case. I actually work with a professor from Drexel University in Philly, and he is a son of a Rosie the Riveter, who are the other Black women that served in the U.S. military during that time. So all of my book research is truly vetted by a professional professor who researched all the information. And so even though it's a fictional tale, it tells some real true stories of things that happened during that era that haven't been told before.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, I did when you had sent me the link, I did download it in my Kindle. I started reading it, but I have to finish it. I will though.
You gotta finish it.
Yes,
And the cool thing about the series is you can read them in any order. The
Right.
Forgotten Timepiece, The Lost Locket, and The Forbidden Ring. Each one of them has a central character who's the African American person who gets either thrown back in time or lives some sort of dual reality. So they're all rated 5 stars on Amazon and have been bestsellers for years. And The Lost Locket really is taking off because of the international attention. So if you go on YouTube, you can even see a video of me with the mayor and the governor in La Rochelle, France, location scouting. And they threw a parade for me and shut the city down, brought tanks out, all this stuff, like all this U.S. military stuff that was left there. They brought it all out. I'm talking raise the U.S. flag and the whole shebang. And they didn't tell me they were going to do it. But there's a video on YouTube that you can check out of me over in France negotiating everything, ramping up for filming. It's a lot of
That's
fun.
amazing. That's
That is
amazing. Miss Joyce, I
phenomenal.
have to say that, like some people, I think a lot of people just like underestimate you. You are so powerful, like, and you don't brag, you're very humble. And I just have to say, like, you guys, I think I've shared with you, like, I met Joyce when I first started my book, as everybody knows, Cece is the one who got me to write it. But Miss Joyce is the one who narrated my first two books. And that's how we met. So that's
And
amazing.
narration was born out of necessity during COVID, right? And during COVID, there was no filmmaking. Everything was shut down. So I was like, I have this voice. I've done voiceover. I did the Subway commercials for years. You probably heard the Subway, eat fresh. That was me. So I'm like, how can I make some money in my closet, girl? I can't go to work. So I started doing audiobooks. And then you were like the fifth or sixth audiobook that I did. I was still a rookie then. Now
I
I
can't
teach people how to
tell.
do it.
I can't tell. It's
Wow, that is super cool.
because remember, Cece, I think you were helping me go through it, and it's like I interviewed or went through so many people. I think I went through like 20 people, and then as soon as I heard her voice, I'm like, that's it, that's the one.
God
Oh,
knew.
that's beautiful.
God knew. So full circle, right? Did you tell them? I got to brag on Nadine a little bit. So in the Garden of Dreams, which is the feature film that just came out, that I just released, I wrote, produced, directed, starred in it. And Nadine is actually in that film. It's on
Yeah.
Amazon Prime, The Garden of Dreams. So full circle, I had a chance to work with her and hire her as an actor for my film. And also another short film that I did called I'm a Survivor. So she's in both of those projects.
Yes,
That is
I'm
amazing.
so grateful. I'm so very grateful because I went through the platform and I filled out, I was like filling out, applying for different things. And then she contacted me and I'm like, because look at her name is very unique, Joyce Licorish. And nobody would ever forget that name, Once I met her, I'm like, I'll never forget this person. So, and when I went to the studio, I said, "Do you remember me?" She said, "Of course I did." Of course
Yeah, she came to my studio, and as soon as she walked in, I'm like, "Of course I know you. Like, I've looked at your face and your author page and your book covers." And we had never really had a formal conversation outside of me doing the audiobook. And God is good. It all came full circle, and I got some more stuff I'm cooking up right now, working on a television series. So I'll be calling you for another part, I'm sure.
Amazing. I can't wait. I'll be available.
That is amazing. Wow. Cece, I think you've been trying to ask a question for a couple minutes now. Go ahead and ask your question
I've
before I
just
ask
been
my
enjoying
question.
the whole thing. Yeah, I've just been
Mhm.
really enjoying the whole thing. I like what you said about necessity. The narration came out of necessity due to COVID. Tell us a little bit about, like, for people wanting to get into like book narration, stuff like that. Because I've done like some stuff on YouTube and kind of recorded some things. My dear friend Antonio, who passed away, I recorded a book for him, and so getting all the sound and all the stuff to all the pop filters and all that stuff that goes with it. But tell us a little bit about that process and how people can kind of get started into that.
Absolutely. So again, 2020 couldn't work. I just kind of made all the mistakes, and I went to YouTube University to train myself. And I had so many people asking me, how did you break into that? Because if you narrate for Amazon, you can make anywhere from $100 per finished hour of narration to $400 or $500 per finished hour of narration. And I'm like, oh yeah, that'll pay the bills, right? So I trained myself, and then I developed an academy called Dream Empire Academy. And I actually offer courses on how to break into voiceover, whether it be for commercial voiceover, jingles, or if you want to do audiobooks, which are considered long form narration. It is a process. The class is only 3 days, but in 3 days, you'll know enough to be able to record yourself, mix, master, know what equipment to get, and know how to find the work. So the hardest part was figuring out, okay, I've got this gift. How can I use it and sit in my closet and make money? And I started out at acx.com, which is the audiobook platform for Audible. And I uploaded a couple demos and got a couple of gigs. But I really expanded once I really learned what equipment to really get and how to find the work. So anybody that's interested, I launched a new website. rebranded myself. I have Dream Empire Films and Academy and Publishing on one side, but if you want to personally train with me, it is dreamsbyjl.com, and you can enroll right there on the website to be in my next class. I usually only take about 20 students per class, and I teach it once every other month due to my schedule. It's like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but having me as your personal coach does a few things for you, because we have Dream Empire Voices, which is my voice casting company. So I've gotten so much work that at first I started to just hire friends and family and whoever could do it. Now we're more professional, and I'm like, if you want to train with me, and I know that you've got the right equipment, the right setup, you can work for me as well. And so that is something that we launched a few years ago. We have partnered with several different publishing companies, and we're a very diverse audiobook platform company. We narrate in all languages and all races, because there is kind of an ethnic sound, or a certain sound that each race has. So, if you need a Hispanic person, or you want someone with that accent, or you want somebody that speaks Spanish, then you can come to us and we'll find the right narrator for you. If you want an African American female voice, you can come to us and not feel embarrassed that you want someone that looks like you and sounds somewhat like you to narrate your book. So yeah, absolutely. Check me out, dreamsbyjl.com. I'd love to take you on and show you the ropes.
Yes, I'm going to be taking one of your courses, because I said I have so many books. I'm going to have to narrate, or try to narrate, at least one of my books.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you can do it. Absolutely. And voice acting is just, you're just
you're cutting in and out. I think, was it me, or the mic was going in and out?
It's a little
Yeah, it's going in and out. It's getting a little glitchy.
Your mic's going in and out.
People have a tendency.
Joyce, sorry to interrupt you. I know I hear you talking, but we can't hear you. We just hear like bits and pieces of it. And now you're frozen. So just a heads up about that. I'm going to take you off the stage, and I'm going to bring you back on when I see you. Just wave at me. All right. Yep. Wow. That's
Exciting.
That's really nice. Really cool. Absolutely.
Really good. I like what she said about that. The narration out of necessity during COVID. So people figured out ways. I know my neighbor, she ended up doing decorating, like home decorating, and she's really good at it. And she launched a company. So, I know COVID was horrible as far as deaths and things, but for a lot of people, it really pushed them into entrepreneurship. For a lot of people, they made a lot of money. I was one of those people on the money end, which was great. But so many things. But yeah, what she's doing is amazing. And Nadine, that you've had the opportunity to work with her. I did see a snippet of the film that you shared. It's pretty amazing. So woohoo, I'm excited.
That is exciting. Yeah, voice acting, it's fun for sure. You definitely have to have a good discipline, and it's about timing as well. Because sometimes when I hear different voices, they like take breaths at the wrong time, or gasp, and you can catch all of that, right? If you're not really mindful of that. Or even sometimes when your mouth, like if you don't have enough water, you can get what's called cotton mouth. And so that can come out on your recording as well. So there's just a lot of different things to be mindful of. Looks like Joyce is back on, so I'm going to bring her back on here. When it comes to
oh yeah, I was like, we were frozen. Your mic was going in and out. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened there. But hopefully you guys caught the last thing I said.
Yeah, you were frozen.
It was.
Yeah, if you can you repeat that for us? Oh, it looks like
I can't remember where I was, but at the end of the day, I was saying, if you'd like to train with me, dreamsbyjl.com is the website to find out more about me, anything I'm doing, my books, and then how to train with me as a voice talent.
Okay, beautiful. Now, the voice training, is that virtual or is that in person? And if it is in person, where in person?
Virtual. It is virtual. I used to do an in-person class, but I closed my smaller studio because we're ramping up to build a larger one. So right now I'm doing everything virtually, which is good because I have students literally from Atlanta to Hawaii that jump on the class, male, female. I do ask that people are 16 and up. I don't work with children in this particular course, but anybody 16 and up, I still consider that a child, but they're at least mature enough to stay focused, stay engaged, because it is a very hands-on class. But yeah, we do offer that virtually now.
Awesome. Yes. Now, with regards to investing in a lot of these projects, how was that? How was your first experience? Because, and I ask because I hear like different producers and directors where they have this amazing script and now they have to go to the bank to get a small loan to invest in themselves so they can show the product. Like, how was your first experience, and what would be your food for thought for those that are getting into the industry trying to get to where you are with your productions?
Okay, so I'm going to give a Luther Vandross example, and it's going to make sense in a minute. Do you remember that song he did with "You Can't Be with the One You Love, Love the One You're With"? Do you remember that song?
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of that. My dream was always to start with the Forgotten Timepiece, my book that really launched the whole empire. But that film is a period piece that's going to cost $20 million. Did I have $20 million? No. I tried soliciting investors, got absolutely nowhere. Got a lot of people that overpromised and underdelivered. So I decided to find some film camps, find some free things, some independent things that I could kind of jump in head first, stick my toe in, get some free cast, some free actors, some free crew that want to get some experience. I started that way. My first film I shot in Lithuania, which is random, I know. I went to this summer camp in Lithuania that was mostly college kids, and I'm 40 years old, right? And I get there and we shot our first film. We wrote it, produced it, cast it, directed it, shot it, edited it, colored it, and finished it. And then we have like at the end of that camp, you have like this festival where everybody watches your stuff. Well, out of that, I met an investor named Paul Nethercott, who invested in a few of my other smaller projects because he believed in what he saw me do at the camp. And from there, I just kind of baby stepped my way up. I don't have a lot of billion-dollar projects. I got a couple of million-dollar projects under my belt, but I'm getting bigger and bigger as I produce things. And even my first feature film, The Garden of Dreams, technically is my first feature that I wrote, produced, and directed. However, I took on the role of an assistant director on some projects with people who already had funding. Okay, so Finding Tony, which stars quite a few people. Columbus Short is one of the stars of that film. Stephen Bishop is in that film. David Benner is in that film. It was $1 million project. I didn't have the million. I didn't solicit the million. We partnered with Anthony Davis, basketball player, the Lakers, and he came in and brought the funding. I pitched some other smaller people to bring the funding in, but the big chunk of it came from who our director knew, right? And so I was her assistant and her producer on that film. So a lot of people try to jump into the film industry head first and do these huge projects. If I hadn't done the small free stuff first, it wouldn't have opened the doors for the big stuff. So after an 18-year career in IT, I went back to film school. During COVID, I was in film school. We couldn't really go out and shoot much, but we could shoot what we could shoot. So my end of the year project was to shoot a 17-minute proof of concept for some idea I had. Well, I had written a series called The Bridge, and I got some of my classmates to volunteer and come in and act in it. I did hire an actual camera person, but I think my overall budget for the whole film was $4,000. So if you know anything about film, that's nothing. But that film won me my first award. That's the film that won the Kingdomwood Festival, because I was like, God, if I do this for you, can you open the doors for me? So I made sure that first real project that I did honored God, and it brought people to him that may have forgotten or felt like maybe he had forgotten about them. Okay. And that project has opened so many doors. We never put it out. I never shot the series, but it opened the next door. And after that, I was able to come on with Raven Magwood. She's a director, and she's in her second and third film. I was also able to work with Robin Givens on a project as her assistant director. So if you can't be with the one you love the one you're with. Okay. I told you I was going to make it make sense. So now I'm finally doing the stuff I want to be doing, and I'm easing into the things I really want to produce, because people have seen what I can do with $5,000, what I can do with $30,000, what I can do with $1 million. Okay, now give me the 20. Right? I had to baby.
So give me the 20.
Run me that 20 million. You know, I'm not there yet. I don't
the evergreen
yet, but I've got some promises, and in the meantime, I'm producing what I can afford to produce myself. And you have to reinvest in yourself.
But here's the thing though, like
yeah.
you have a long rap sheet and your work speaks for itself. So you can't fake what you've done. Like everything shows on your resume.
Yeah. And you can piggyback off other people's work as an assistant. Start doing what Nadine is doing is super smart. So my other half, he's my husband, divorced. We're divorced and back together. Don't judge me.
No, that's amazing.
But I call my husband. He got his start as background on Empire. Well, he was working background, and so the actor didn't show up. And so they pulled him and gave him his own trailer and let him be Terrence Howard's bodyguard on the show for 4 seasons, but he started out as background. Right? And so that just shows you by putting yourself in the right. He can't open a door if you stuck at home. You got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to get out of your comfort zone and go to the places. Nadine is beautiful. If I saw her on set and I was directing, I would pull her in. Yes, I would say, "Come on, girl, come on, Cece, y'all get over here and do this." When she came to set, she was supposed to do background for me, and I was like, "Okay, you got a line. Say this thing." And she's like, "Oh,
I did. I mean, I was already grateful that she remembered me, and I was like, "Okay," and I didn't expect that. And she was like, "Okay, I want you to say that." I was like, "Okay, thank you."
So if you go watch Garden of Dreams on Amazon, you'll see her. I think you're in like the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yes, I really appreciate that. I was ready to go to happy hour. I was like, absolutely.
Yes. And Nadine saved the day. We lost one of our locations. This will just show. I'm going to say this and I'm going to shut up. I think one of the biggest things people take away from when they meet me is, even though I've been in the same room with Terrence Howard and Taraji and all these people, I treat the janitor like I do the CEO. And everybody should be that way, because you never know when your path's gonna cross again, and you might need them. So I'm gonna say that, and I'm speaking that because Nadine met me as a doing voiceover, and then I cast her. But while we were shooting the feature film, I lost a location, and Nadine let us shoot in her backyard because I lost my location the day before. We had a wedding scene to do. And I had a venue that was gorgeous, had this beautiful garden. It's a garden theme, right? And I'm like, "We don't have a garden. We're shooting tomorrow." And I was losing actors and talent was flying out. And I'm like freaking out. And I called her and she's like, "Sure." And she didn't even want me to pay her anything. She'd let me give her a little something, but not much. But the point I'm making is, treat everyone like gold. You never know. You never know. And there's a couple celebrities I've met along the way that didn't treat me well. And when I get where I'm going, they're going to remember.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right?
Beautiful words. I echo your words. Definitely treat everyone the way you would want to be treated, regardless of your position. Like you said, CEO to janitor, you treat them all the same. And that's a beautiful characteristic to have. That's definitely a good trait to have. Absolutely. And just listening to you, it's really inspiring, just your story and your growth and how you just develop yourself and you're pushing, right? Nowadays, I feel like a lot of people, when it gets too hard, they're easy to make excuses, but I can hear that you don't do that. You're going to push past the boundaries to see what else you can do. And that's really inspiring. So my hat's off to you for sure.
It's funny, like, and I'm not trying to go off topic, but something resonated with me today, and I'm like, I have to thank my brother, because my brother, I try to have a conversation with my brother all the time. So we were having a conversation today, and he was like, we're just having a heart-to-heart conversation, and he was like, if there's one thing I could say about my sister, she tried everything. Like, it might not work, but whatever don't work, you stick. Whatever work, you stick to it, and that resonated with me. Yeah. So thank you, bro.
Yeah, Joyce, you said something earlier. You said, Lord, if you open the doors, like, you're going to walk through them, and, you're making it happen. So the thing,
you got to be in the room.
You believed, right? You had the faith, you had the dream, and you put the action, right? You put the work with the faith. And he opened the door and you walk through, and so more doors and windows and ceilings and everything, like they're just opening up for you, right? Which is great. So I love that. Just chatting with you here, on the show, you can sense, like the energy, right? The aura, and you're just it seems like a very genuine and sincere person. And I really truly take you at your word about you treating the janitor just like the CEO or, whomever, right? Because it does make a big difference in the life of many people. And they will remember, just like you said, some actors, and actresses, they didn't treat you so great. Gonna remember, you know what I'm saying? But I thought that was just very, very pertinent because, you say now you're living your dream, you're doing what you love. And I'm seeing that really shift. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to that, but it's been like a shift to where people are being now able, especially the body of Christ, right? But we're being afforded an opportunity to live our passion, live our purpose, and all those things that God has put into us. So as we say in the military, bravo Zulu, we take our hat off to you. I want to say, job well done. So proud of you and that, you're living out this dream on purpose, right? And changing the lives of many. So I'm just so overjoyed. That's awesome.
On fire. I love it. So I think that if there's anything that I would want people to take away from just having this moment to have a glimpse into the things I do is stop dreaming, start doing, because we put our dreams in this ever elusive inch or a mile away. I'm going to give you an example of that. I'm a full figure woman. I've always gone, when I lose my weight, I'm gonna, right? When you're in high school, when I graduate, I'm gonna, right? When I get that perfect guy, I'm gonna, right? When I finish high school, I'm gonna. When I finish college, and you look up and I'm 50 years old now. And I'm like, hang on, I can't keep putting everything in this ever perpetual distant future. I have to start going for it now. And I have to speak life as if it were already where I want it to be so it can manifest. Because I believe God gave us the power to do that. And so I have been called to not just do these films, but some of the books that I write aren't all fiction. I write books on how to manifest your best life, how to walk into your calling. And I think a lot of people are just feeling like they're floating and they have to be stuck at this 9 to 5. You don't have to do that. It's a choice to stay there. When I was laid off, it was the best thing that ever happened to me in 2018. When my boss came in and was like, the department's going this way. They called me back to work. In 2019, they couldn't pay me enough money to come back. Was it difficult? Yes. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Because now I wake up and I decide when I want to start my day, when I want to end my day, how I want to run my day. I start out with gratitude, though, first. I thank the Most High the moment my feet hit the floor. And then I get into it, right? And he just keeps bringing me stuff. And if I have a month where the money's looking funny, I'm like, all right, God, you see this bank account? And he comes through like clockwork. I don't even worry about it. I know it's coming. I know it's alignment. I know it's divine. I know it is part of what I'm supposed to be doing because there's somebody else out there with a dream that's going to see this and they're going to make a decision to start living now on purpose. So I'm going to talk about
having that freedom now.
I got to get this book. This is my baby. And so it is. Make sure you get this.
I love it.
His and hers.
Hold it still, Joyce. Hold it still. You said, and so it is?
Oh, and okay. So it is. It's a his and her set. So you can get one for the guy or for the girl. But this is manifesting your best life. It's a journal. It is all the affirmations that speak to you from head to toe. Every chakra that God created in your body, you're going to speak to them. Everybody does I am. Everybody, I am this, I am that. Yes, that's important. But you need to speak to what you release.
Yes.
Because if you don't let go of some stuff, you can't embrace anything new, right? You need to speak to who you are as a person, who you plan to be as a person, and the things that you feel are already yours. Because God kind of gives us those inklings of what's already ours. We limit it. This is a limited universe. We put limits on it based on our own ideology. Anyway, I ain't gonna get off topic, but
you're right. You're right on point. It's just like, when everybody know I ain't trying to make it about me, but everybody know that I retired from the military, but I was working a civilian job and I got laid off in 2023, and I was complaining about the job, and I prayed about it, and when I got laid off, I haven't turned back. I mean, did I try to put in a lot of applications, and I have a master's degree? Nobody hired me, and I was like, God wanted me here. I mean, like you said, is it a struggle sometimes? Absolutely. I'm being transparent, but I'm here for a reason. You know, he put people in places at the right time for a specific reason. So
Right.
you know, just have to live in the moment.
Like it's like the
Absolutely.
Wizard of Oz. Do you remember how cheesy it was when they said, Dorothy, you always had the power to go home? We all have the power to go wherever home is for us. It's inside of us. And it's so cheesy. I used to hate it. I'm like, that is in every movie. It's so cheeseball. But I finally, when the light bulb came on and I realized that I attract not who I want to be, but who I am and what I deserve, I started treating myself better. I started treating other people better. I started waking up in gratitude instead of having an attitude. Ooh, about that one. If you
Yes,
wake up, oh my God, I don't have no job. Oh my God. Whatever you're oh my Godding about, that's what's going to keep showing up for you.
Right. The power of the tongue, manifestation. Mm-hmm.
Man, you just keep,
absolutely right.
you stay in that cycle. And when I got out of that, if something goes wrong, let me lose $100. That's okay. It's just money. It's coming back. Every dollar I spend, I get back 10. I say that every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens. So you got to go through, and this is like, I know it's off topic of film and whatever, but I teach people how to attract the life that they deserve. And so if you
Mm.
don't quite deserve it, how to become the person that does deserve it, so you can start to attract that. Figure out the affirmations you need to say are beyond I am. It's I attract, I can, I will, I choose, I deserve, I let go of, I release, I trust, and trust God. And if you don't
Absolutely.
believe in him, then we got a whole other conversation we need to have, because that's
That
part
part.
of the journey.
Yeah,
That part right there.
that's the
That's
Wow.
part
part.
of the journey.
This conversation is deep, thought provoking, and I feel like we're gonna need a part two with you, ma'am.
Well,
Yes.
call me.
We're definitely gonna need a part two because I still have a lot of questions and we're coming close to time. So we're gonna actually start pivoting over to our last minute words. And
But
so
there's
pretty much
one
that's an
thing.
opportunity. I'm sorry,
Oh
go
yeah.
ahead, Amy.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was gonna say that you talk about your other books, but you just dropped a children's book. I didn't see you mention that in your bio.
It was so much. I just felt like I have 4 children's books out, but I did just drop A Girl Like Me. I do have one right here. I was the only black chunky kid in my class, and I decided there's another little cute little chocolate girl with chubby cheeks and a head full of curly hair that needs to know that she's not alone and that she's beautiful
That
just the
is
way she
precious.
is. And
And
so
it's in
it's really,
audio.
yes, it's called A Girl Like Me. It's a book about self-love, size acceptance, body positivity for children, for kids, and it's beautifully illustrated. And this is me, y'all.
Oh,
A
that
Girl
is
Like
so
Me.
cute.
It's
That is
available on
beautiful.
Amazon.
I love it.
And I'm all about positivity with the kids. So my other 2 kids' books are I Am Loved and I Am Strong. And these are kid affirmation books. I know we're wrapping up, but I do have these available.
Wow.
And they're on dreamsbyjl.com. All my books are there. Since I've written 12 books, so I didn't want to go down the rabbit hole of talking about all 12. But my latest is A Girl Like Me. And then for the grown and sexy folks, I do have one for y'all too. Falling
Oh,
in Dubai.
Okay.
Because every big girl wants to go marry a rich Arab, don't we? I mean, hey. So everybody's talking about going to Dubai. So it's a love story about a BBW who goes through a bad breakup, and she finds her love, the love of her life in Dubai. But yeah, Falling in Dubai is also available on Amazon. Anyway,
Oh, that's
that
amazing.
is awesome. I just want to know where you get all the information to write all these books and ideas.
listen, I am also owner of Dream Empire Publishing. So we publish books for other authors. We help people breathe life. I have 7 writers on my team. It's not just me. But I dream my stories. I wake up out of my sleep and I'm like, oh, thank you. And I get these downloads and I just start writing. And if I could keep up with all my stories, I'd probably have a new book every week. But these are all labor of love. And there's a message to be had, even in a romance book. There's a message to be had of self-love and loving the skin we're in and not being afraid to take up space in the world that we live in.
That's amazing. Talk about downloads, like access. Like as soon as I get an idea, I'm like, oh, like I got an idea about writing a book about, I'm not gonna say what it is, but I dropped another book too, and I'm like, it just came overnight.
Just do it like Nike, right? Just do it.
Yes.
Absolutely. So this is an opportunity for us to do the last minute words and just remind people where people can find you, buy your books,
Let's do it. It's no
social
excuses
media.
anymore.
I'm sorry, Joyce, it looks like you're frozen again on my end. I don't know if okay. Joyce, are you still there with us?
I'm voguing. Can you see me voguing? No.
No, you were frozen. Yeah, you were frozen.
No?
You're frozen. We could hear you, but you're frozen.
No.
Oh, there you are.
I'm still.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, I'm moving on my screen. Oh, so random. Sorry about that, guys.
It's okay. No, it's okay. Yeah. So this will be an opportunity if you have any last minute words, food for thought, to remind people how to find you, follow you, buy your books, next projects, anything like that is pretty much what the opportunity is for, the last minute words. So Cece, you want to lead us off with last minute words?
Okay, so I'm Sandra, the Actions with Girls for Gays. I'm going to keep it short, keep it simple. Put God first in all that you do, and He will always see you through. Just as I was sharing earlier, God has been so super sweet to me this week. So I hope that you also feel His love and you also feel His sweetness as well. My mission, my mantra is to equip, empower, and execute people of all creeds, colors, backgrounds. It does not matter. And so with Inspire for Purpose, we are here to just bring, inspiration to people. So as I always like to say, love and light and inspire for purpose.
All right. Nadine, do you want to go next?
Yes. So as you guys see on the screen, I'm Nadine Barton, the author, Navy veteran, and entrepreneur travel agent. You can find me on Instagram at NadiaB, NADIAB_1202, and on Facebook, my name, Nadine Barton, as you see it on the screen. As I always say, life is 10% of what happened to you and 90% of how you react. So make sure that you treat people right, treat them kind, and treat them how you want to be treated. And that's my go.
Wonderful. Thank you. Miss Joyce Licorish, last minute words
Right.
where people can
First of all,
find you.
quickly, thank you for having me. Okay, I didn't say that, and that was rude of me, but thank you so much. I'm so honored to have shared this time with you. My last word is move, touch, inspire, create. If there's something in you, a seed that God has planted in you that you're sitting on, how dare you take it to the grave? It is time for you to shine. We're in the year, 2025. It is time for you to write that story, write that song, whatever the thing is that's in you, allow it to be manifest. So if you want to find out more about me and you're ready to move, touch, inspire, create, and you need a partner, a helping hand, an accountability partner, hit me up at dreamsbyjl.com. And a couple of things that are coming out or that are out that you can support that will really help me. All my books are available at dreamsbyjl.com. I have a new film, a documentary called The Final Round, about the founder of the International Boxing Federation, dropping on Juneteenth. It'll be on all platforms. You can check that out. And my feature film that I wrote, produced, and directed alongside and had the amazing Nadine star in that with the small part. The Garden of Dreams is now available on Amazon, and I would love to have you support that. It is an inspirational, faith-based feature film, and it's perfect for the whole family. Thank you again for having me. I really appreciate your time, you guys.
Yes, this is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And this is only part one because we're definitely going to have you on for part two, ma'am. There's still so many questions that I have, and I'm sure Cece and Nadine have additional questions to kind of pick your brain on. So yeah, viewers and listeners, stay tuned for part two with Miss Joyce Licorish coming soon. And like she said, go pick up those books, go watch those movies. You're definitely going to be inspired. All right. And so for me, I am Yessie Rodriguez, host and producer of Hoy en Día TV, where we are here to motivate, inspire, enlighten, educate, and entertain you, the viewer and listener, with each and every episode. That's our mission. That is our goal. And I know we did that today because I feel it just like I do. Yes, I feel it. It's giving me the warm and fuzzies every time we do this. I love it. And so with that in mind, I want to shout out our sponsors. We have CC, the Actionist. We have Nadine, the author. Also, we have Collective Wear. We have Nadine's Travel Oasis. We have Divine Beauty and Accessory and Inspire for Purpose. So hold that thought. I'm going to play some commercials here and we'll be right back.
Sponsored by Collective Wear. Available at www.yessierodriguez.com/shop and myrod-enterprise.com/shop.
Dream, explore, discover with Nadine's Travel Oasis. Your next adventure is just a booking away. From breathtaking beaches to vibrant cityscapes, we handle the details so you can make the memories. Luxury, leisure, or last-minute getaways, we've got you covered. Book today and let Nadine's Travel Oasis take you places. Sponsored by Divine Beauty and Accessories. Watch Hoy en Día TV, Thursday, 7:30 p.m.
All right. And for those who want to be a special guest on Hoy en Día TV, we have some availability coming later on in the year, pretty soon. So feel free to email us at hoyendiatv@gmail.com, subject line guest, and share what it is that you want to talk about. We're here. This is about life and lifestyle, all the ups and downs, the grays, the purples, the greens, the blues, the reds, all the shades of colors of life. There's just no end topic when it pertains to life, and we are here to talk about it and inspire, educate, motivate, entertain, and educate you all with each and every episode. That is our goal and mission. Also, for those who want to be sponsors, we welcome you with open arms. Just email hoyendiatv@gmail.com and just inquire about the sponsor packages we have available. And for those who want to follow me or find me, just go on Google, type in Yessie Rodriguez. You'll find a little bit about me, what I do, my social media handles. And yeah, that's just cut and dry. Just go on Google and find everything you need. So with that in mind, I'm going to leave you all with the food for thought that I always have. Similar to what Miss Joyce shared earlier, I got a little excited when I heard her share similar to my quote that I usually say with regards to the Carmen line. Just remember that every time you tell yourself the sky's the limit, you're technically putting a boundary within your mind, within your thought frame, because there is a such thing called a boundary between Earth and space, which is about 62 miles. And so with that in mind, that Carmen line, don't let that, stop you. So think about this. Cease from saying the sky's the limit and start saying the sky is never the limit, because the galaxies are endless. So thank you all for tuning into another amazing episode of Hoy en Día TV. Hasta luego. See you next time.